for our library media first quarterly review and evaluation session. This evening, I'd like to welcome everybody, and I know that you had some choices to make. We know so far of at least 5 different meetings this evening that library media specialists may or may not have had the opportunity to attend. So we appreciate your attendance and presence here. We know some of you can only stay on for a short period of time, but do know that we're recording all of the sessions, including the breakout, and those recordings will be available to you and to everybody who was not able to make it this evening. I'd like to thank our staff for being here, Coquette, Bridget, Catherine, and Verlita. And we have our guest presenter tonight, Charlene St. Jean, our library media specialist from Cherokee Lane Elementary School. We're going to start you out with a session of aligning the FFT and SFE instructional framework with Coquette. And we're going to have a session about Coder Z with Charlene. 5:20 to 5:35, we're going to be having R&E procedures with Flipgrid with Verlita Taylor. And at 5:35, we're going to have in breakout room 1, the Write a Book sponsor training, and in the main room where you will stay, the diversity features that are available with Mackin. And Todd Harold is going to be part of that presentation. We know you're adults. If you need to leave and take care of business, we haven't got a break built in, but do that as you need to. As I said, all sessions are going to be recorded. And I want to thank everybody who's presenting this evening and everybody who was able to attend. So with that, I would like to turn it over to Coquette.
Thank you, Sherry. Good evening, everyone. Well, today I would like to share this document. It's a Danielson sample artifact. And so I know this has come up in the past with this document, the Danielson framework. And I just want to simply show an alignment. I'm very aware that librarians are classified as SFE. This document suggests artifacts for librarians to collect and demonstrate evidence of professional practices that correlate with the FFT. So again, this is the Danielson framework. The domains are here. You have domain 1, planning and preparation. Domain 2, the environment. Domain 3, delivery of service. And domain 4, professional responsibility. So I'm sure that you're aware of those. I will put I'll give you a copy of this in the chat after I have presented. I'm going to just share how it actually aligns. So a lot of what the artifacts are, you actually are doing those anyway. So what I did was just share the information so it'll be easy when you sit down and have your pre-conference with your administrator or your end of the year evaluation. And these are artifacts, again, that you should present in your meeting. And I just wanted to make it a little easier when you're having that dialogue with your administrator. So for an example, domain 1 for planning and preparation. Things that I know that you're already doing, it says the book orders. So when you're doing your book orders at the beginning of the year or throughout the year, that's documentation that you can support in this domain 1. Reports of circulation, detailing how to improve deficits in the areas of your collection. That's like a twofold, because when you do when we're doing the quarterly, or for those that are doing monthly or quarterly reports, all of that will be covered when you have to submit that document to Bridget. So that's a documentation that you can use to support domain 1 as well. I'm not going to read through them. I'm just going to point out a few things. Domain 1B, back to school. So when you have your agenda That's something that you can present. I know sometimes, depending on whether you're Title I or Title I school, that you have the reading night, or you have math night or science night. These are different artifacts that you can use to support your participation, collaborating with those teachers, providing them information on how to, for example, for the back to school, typically you have the local librarian come to visit for the reading night. How do you align that with what you're doing in the library, science? So all of those things, helping them find research, all of those things are showing that you collaborate with your colleagues. A jump down to domain 2, which is the environment. Posting your expectation in the library. Domain 2B, different events that you have at your school that you take part in. The website updates, making sure if you don't have a website that you get that up. I can assist with that. Just shoot me an email. I can help you establish a website for your school, and then you can speak with the principal, and then they can actually have that put on your school, on the school website. They can add that to it. So again, if you do not have a school website for a library to support that, just reach out to me and I can help develop that with you. Managing student behavior, again, going over the expectations, your classroom, library expectations. Most schools have some type of PBIS, making sure that you're supporting that. Domain 3 goes with the weeding, the collection reports. Again, we're back to the quarterly reports or monthly reports that you have to do. Those are things that speak to this domain. Domain 3B, preparing lesson plans. Those are things that are readily available. You can access that through Canvas as we're putting that in, and also through the curriculum website, you have access to that. So these are different things that you can look at the domains, and you can match up and say, oh, I do that. Students work, having a portfolio, or whether you have it digital or if you put something aside. These are different things that you can showcase what you're doing in the library. Having an author come out and speak, different things. These are all things that most of you are doing. And here are just some recommendations, again, to show you that aligns with the different domains. Collaboration with teachers, parents, promoting the library program, as well as the literacy program at the school. Domain 4, professional responsibilities. Again, we have the end of the year report. That's something that you have to have for our department. That's something that you can show. Having a monthly report, library budget, newsletters, how you communicating with your parents, how you communicate with the staff and students, depending on the grade level. Secondary in particular. So again, here is just a tool to help relieve some anxieties, especially if you're at a school where your principals are asking for the Danielson framework alignment. This is here. If your administrator is not really pushing that, that's fine. These are still good practices and things that most of you are doing. Again, I will put the link in the chat so you can look at it in more detail at your leisure. If you have any questions about any of the artifacts, these are just examples. It's not limited to, but you can just contact me and we can go over if you're not for sure what will actually go with which domain. So I can help you with that. But again, I just wanted to make sure that for those of you that didn't really know how to align the domains of the Danielson framework, this is a way to relieve some of the stress. So again, I hope this is helpful for you. If you have any questions or you like to give recommendations about this document, you can just contact me. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to Charlene, and she will share with you Code is Z.
Good evening, everyone. Let me just share my screen.
Hello.
How you doing? So I'm going to show you, Coder Z is the main thing, and then I'm going to show you a couple of little tricks and things that I have based on just my experience here in Cherokee and PG County. So I'm going to just go to my first slide. So welcome in housekeeping. Just as we go along, this is going to be all hands on. You all are going to be working along with me. So if you have any questions, you can put them in the chat or you can speak out. It's not a problem because we're going to be time where you're going to be working with me on your own computer. So you open up a new tab and things like that. So Coder Z is a website that is sponsored by Amazon Robotics. It goes all the way up to 12th grade. And I discovered in one of my summer classes that I took, and it's an awesome opportunity to teach critical thinking skills. And also it's fun with just robotics. And like I said, this is like from 3rd grade all the way up to 12th. I've done it with my 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders in the elementary school. So for the older students, the high school students, it's really great because they offer Amazon itself. And if you need that, we can have a one-on-one about that if you're in high school. They offer internships to work at Amazon. And it's open to all the schools all over the nation. And so I can get more information on that if that's something we could do a one-on-one about. But they offer internships and you can get a scholarship and they pay for you to go to school, and there's a wonderful opportunity for the older ones. I really also like it because it helps students, again, like I said, with critical thinking, and also it gives them an opportunity to start working in and with computers and coding, because that's something that you don't want to wait until they get to high school to do. So I'm doing this in 3rd grade. I do computer club with kindergarten through 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, just to get them in the mindset of using computers, keyboarding, and all kinds of things, because no matter what job they're going to have, you're going to have a computer somewhere involved, some type of computer information. So the earlier they are exposed, the easier it will be for them to transition because when they get to high school, I believe they have to take an AP computer course of some kind. So we don't want to wait till they get there. We start them off in kindergarten and move them along. They should be better off, just like with their reading and writing. You learn the basics and stuff in elementary school. So I want to start off, I'm going to put in the chat this link right here, and it's going to take you to the Coder Z join account. Now, I already have an account, so you can get your teacher's account. So it should take you here. And if it does not, please let me know. So I'm just going to wait for a little bit. You can open up your mic, and let me know if you're there, you're not in, you're having difficulty. Let me make sure I say this. This is suggested. Again, this is not a must that you have to do. It's just something that I thought was really nice to present because of the fact that it involves, and it's a lot of fun. The kids enjoy it. It's something you can do virtually. You can do as an after-school program. You could do it within school. Everything is online. And the kids, they had so much fun. And there's also a national challenge that costs $50 if you want like 30 kids to join. And they compete against each other and children nationally all over the world doing these robotic challenges. And they win different prizes and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. So give me a thumbs up to let me know that you all are where you're supposed to be. If you're not, let me know. And as I don't want to go too fast, but also I don't want to waste anybody's time. All right, I'm going to take the silence as yes, we're good. Okay, Anya is very slow for you. Okay. All right. So, hi, yes.
My screen, I logged in with Google, but my screen is just a blue field, no words.
Okay, so I don't know what's happening with that. I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay. I'll troubleshoot, no problem.
Okay, yeah, so, because again, this is my first time doing it like this way, so hopefully it'll go in. So I already have an account. If you don't, yeah, okay, if you don't, you can sign up down here.
Did you
So
mention
are we joining your account?
No, you're gonna make up your own.
Okay.
Yes, I want you to
Okay.
click, yeah, mhm.
I'm sorry. Did you mention a teacher account? Because it doesn't mention teacher account. I thought you said teacher account.
It shouldn't, just an account. I mean.
Oh, okay, thank you.
I say teacher account, but it's really just your account. Because the students can have.
When I clicked on it, it says it's joining your class. So how do we do, what's the link to do our
All
own?
right, so, I'm so sorry. So what you're gonna do is, if you came here, I want you to, don't have an account, I want you to sign up. So you can do your own.
Yeah, but that still takes you to yours. You see at the top, in the top blue, it says, join your class.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want you to do that.
So how do you do like the teacher side?
Let me go over to the other side. So let me go here. Anticipation. I didn't know it was going to do that. See, troubleshooting. Okay. That is the teacher's guide.
I used that link and I logged in with Google and it's not Charlene's class. Like
Okay.
I have my own. So I think the link is still good. Just create an account.
Right, that's what I thought, because I didn't when I practiced with this, it just it took people so they can make their own account. So Catherine, can you tell me again, how do you troubleshoot?
So just like you did, just create your account, but I use Google because I want to use Work's email. So if you click on the link for me.
Mm-hmm. And so I think if you
And
create
I
your
click sign up, yep.
and then Google.
And
right?
I sign in with Google and I use our PGCPS email and it just created an account for me.
Yes. And that's what it should do. And you sign up with your own email. Because I know when I did it in the practice, it didn't, you were able to get your own account.
Right, and my name is on the top right, just like your name is on the top right. So I think the link works.
Thank you, Catherine. All right.
I have a question about that because I did that and on the top right, it says signed in with Google, but then I'm not able to go anywhere or do anything. Do I still have to, does it know my Google password or?
I mean, when you sign in with Google, it syncs with your Google.
Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's so slow for me. It's starting. It says, how old are you? So it's starting. Thank you.
Okay. No problem. Make sure you go to the
Okay.
teacher side, because there's the student side. So make sure you are signing up as a teacher. I heard another question.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say I clicked the link for Google and it still is saying join your class. It says I'm creating an account,
Mhm.
but it also says I'm joining your class. So
Yeah,
I'm
same
not sure
here.
what link we
Yeah,
we
the
doing
same
that
for me.
is doing
Yeah, but I
different
think
from
if you
everybody else.
just ignore that at the top, when
Mhm.
you create an account, it's gonna ignore Charlene's.
Did it ask how old you were, Kath?
Yes, it did. And I did not even lie. I said my right. And then when it asked for the grade, I just went down to other.
Uh-huh.
The only thing, Charlene, I'm not sure where you see if I'm a teacher or a student, though. I missed that step.
So when you come into the account, it should be your account when I signed up, it asked me if I was a teacher. So I'm gonna log out so I can.
I didn't see that part, but
That's not, it didn't ask me if I'm a teacher.
yeah, me neither. But I
Okay.
think maybe with our age and the grade, it's.
They'll assume that you are.
Hopefully.
All right, so we have the login side, sign in with Google. All right, and then it takes me into the account. All right. And on the side, administration side, it should give you your own account.
Oh, how did you get to that one? I don't think I have that part. Can you go back one?
Mhm, I'll go back. All hands on. Okay, so
Oh,
I
yeah,
go-
I don't have administrator.
okay, you don't have an administrator down here?
No.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is when I signed up for this, I signed up in my class. Someone's I can't hear because it's background noise. I don't know who it is. I can't
Maybe
hear.
we need some people.
Okay, thank you. All right. So I'm going to find out. So if there's troubleshooting, if there's something you really want to do, I will find it. Because when I did this course, they walked me through the steps and took me and gave me, maybe they signed me up for an administrative account. So if this is something that you really, really want to do, then I will find out. And you can shoot me an email. I'm gonna put my email in the address and we can work that out. So we can move forward. I don't want to waste anyone's time. So we can do that definitely one-on-one, but let me just show you what's inside, okay? Everyone good with that? So if you want, just shoot me an email and we can, and I can work it out together with no problem. I have no problem with helping anyone. All right, so once you get your teacher's account, because there is a way to get one and I will be able to find out. Once you get your teacher's account, there's the learning center you come into, and then you have your teacher's guide. Yes, thank you, Sherry. And you have your teacher's guide. And it gives, I like how they break it down. And then I'm going to show you a little bit of snippet of the course. So they give you a course outline with the lesson topics, the lesson format, and the preparation. And then it also gives you the lesson plans. There are 3 different lessons. All right. So that's the teacher side. And I'm not going to bore you with that, so because you can walk through it. Everyone knows how to do lesson plans. You know, just not a class on lesson plans. So once you get inside, you're going to, once you get your teacher's guide, past the teacher's guide, you can click on this and it takes you to the 3 levels of the robotics challenge. This is what the students see. So when they come in, they get a chance to go to level 1 and you can actually, like I have my classes here. This is my classes from last year and I'm able to track how they've gone along. And I did this for computer club. So this was my 5th and 6th graders. And so we have, and you can add classes, almost like any, you can add classes and you can track them as they go along with the challenges. So I'm going to just show you one of the challenges. So when you come in, they start off with a welcome and it tells you, gives you a little video about.
Welcome to the Amazon Cyber Robotics
And I'm going to just kind of
on healthcare and the environment. I actually found out I was an
Now, this particular young lady, she is one of the high school interns, that's the one on scholarship. It's her and another young man in the video. And again, these are high schoolers and they won the scholarship and was able to go to Amazon, the actual Amazon warehouse, and intern to go and possibly go into that field. So it's very, very hands-on. And then you get started.
Welcome to the Amazon Cyber Robotics Challenge. My name is Hercules, and I'm an Amazon Fulfillment Center drive unit. There are many types of robots at the Fulfillment Center. Not to brag, but I'm the most important one. Today, I will be showing you how to program me. First, let's get our bearings. Here I am in the Amazon Fulfillment Center's training area, and this window pane is called the simulation screen. Your goal is to get me to the yellow target. Can't see me or the target? Scroll your mouse or touchpad to tilt and zoom. Right-click anywhere and drag the cursor left or right to rotate. On the left is the code editing area, where you write the instructions that tell me what to do. Writing code is easy. Just snap blocks together. Click the play button to make me execute the instructions you gave me. You can grab additional blocks from the library. I'm a robot, so I will always do as instructed. If it's not exactly as you planned, don't blame me. Fix your instructions and run the code again. Right-click blocks to bring up a useful action menu. The duplicate option, for example, can be used when you want to give me the same instruction again. I will not execute blocks that are grayed out. I will ignore them. Click here to return me to the starting point. Want to reset the whole mission, including your code? Click this button. The reset button also replays the mission tour. Need help? You can find useful tips here. Bye for now.
All right, I wanted to play that whole piece because I wanted you all to see basically how they explain everything. So This is an actual robot that is in the Amazon facilities, and this is basically how they get their stuff out to you. I'm an avid Amazon user, I use it all the time. But when they deliver whenever you get things delivered from Amazon, these robots move throughout the warehouse to deliver things to the person, the staff member, and then they get it on a cart and then they deliver it out to the person. So this is real time, real life, so the children can connect to it. It's not some, nebulous thing in the air. It's actually something that's real, that goes on in real life, in real time. So they go into, I'm just going to show you one of the activities. They start off really, really simple. It loads up. Sometimes takes a little bit. Hopefully your Wi-Fi is good. It takes a minute to load up. And then the kids have to go, and it gets progressively more difficult as they go through the challenges. And like I said, I started this with 3rd grade, and I went all the way up to 6th. I don't know if my high school media specialist is something you want to do. Like I said, the high schoolers are doing it as well. And I can show you another thing that takes another, takes it to another level. So it gives you the challenge here, and I can reset the simulation here if for something I mess up, and then you can just begin. And it shows you can zoom in and you can start your challenge. Let me go over here. Let me run the simulation. All right, so they have the drive 1 step, and you hit it. And so the first one starts off really easy. The mission is completed. That was an easy one. So they basically go progressively through all of the challenges. Let me come out of that and go back to the home page. Okay, so it takes them through all of the missions, and when they get to the end, like I said, they get progressively more difficult as they go along. So those are all the different missions, and like I said, you can track the students as you go along, and there are the different levels that they go through. Also, and this is for the I would think this is more like for high schoolers, they can actually create their own missions and own projects. So that's in this one where it has my projects. They can start a new project, and this has lesson plans that go along with it. So, and it has step-by-step how you do a project. That's all in the teacher's guide, which shows you how to go through it, and you can give your project a name, and you can either, and then depending on whether you want to do Ruby, and remember, this is all virtual. So you don't have to worry about having any pieces or parts, but the students can work on it. And then if it is something you can connect to, if you actually have these robotics pieces, you can actually connect it to real life as well. So I'm going to come out there. So any questions so far about that, besides the fact that you all have to get a teacher's account? Any questions so far? Okay. So the scoreboard is another good thing. When they are doing the, amongst each other, they can see where they are, who completed the missions, and you can have nice little friendly competition with the students and with each other. But when the Coder Z League is on, and right now it's not, if you notice this spot is empty. This is the Coder Z League, and even though it's empty, what happens every year they have a national contest, and you compete. And what happens in the Coder Z League, it will show you across the whole entire country where your school is in the leaderboard, and how many points they are gathering. And the students work together in teams online in the after school. And I have my 5th graders working together and my 3rd graders working together, and they were competing against people all over the nation. And they really had a lot of fun. And I was jazzed because of how they were reacting. All right, any other questions about my Coder Z? Everyone good? And again, if that's something that you are really interested in, we can have a one-on-one and I can find out for you. And now I just have one other thing to share that's quick and not fast. All right, and that is on my other page here. That ends up my Coder Z. So now in PEEP, I was able to show a little bit of, I'm just shifting gears now from Coder Z into my last little 2 things. Can you get it through Clever? No, this is separate. This is just something that I took a course in, and I found it is free. It's just a matter of just getting that teacher's account, and I'm going to research that and get in touch with the people that I work with and find out how do you all get your teacher's account. So you have my email address. I'm gonna put it back in the chat again, and you can just contact me. We can have a Zoom meeting. You know, I am available. I have no problem. Just let me know. Yep. Yes, high school. I think it's really good with high schools. So please, please reach out to me. Get my email address and you can reach out to me. All right, so just shifting gears really quickly because I have about maybe 10 more minutes. Coquette, am I doing good with time? Just want to make sure I'm not going over
Yes, you
time.
are.
Okay, so with the pacing guides, now at the beginning of the school year, I created some pacing guides for myself. Now this is, again, this is just a suggestion. If you want to work your year out and you know exactly what you're doing, I created these things for myself and I planned out my entire school year. Of course, now you know, okay, I know you know that every school will be different, every grade level will be different. So these are just examples that you can take and make it your own. So I just want to make sure I stress that these are just samples, okay? So down here, my pacing guides, I'm gonna start with my little kindergartners and then I'll move up to show you how I did differently. So to show you how I packed it up. So on this document, so what I did was I went to our curriculum website and I made a copy of each one of the curriculum guides. And basically what I did was I didn't put everything on there that I would need. My schedule that I go throughout the day, permission slips for computer club that I'm gonna have starting in November. And then I put the original pacing guides right here, so I can always refer back to them as well. And then what I did was basically I customized it to my school, to my schedule, to my needs. And again, I can share this out if you want a copy of it and you make it your own. And what I did was I put in all the dates and again, I know some people are like, well, how are you gonna know what you're gonna do? Everything can change. This is just a plan, a pacing guide. Things will change. It may not go. I've already started changing stuff since the first day of school. So I went back in and changed, but at least you have a plan to know where you're going. I have all the lessons in here that go along. So my media lessons, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm putting in there. I know what I'm grading in Google Classroom. And this way I can get throughout the whole year. So I have the plan set out all the way up to Q4 with the lessons and what I'm gonna do. And then what I also placed in here was things like Black History Month. So I know in February, I need to connect my media lessons with Black History. In January, I need to connect my lessons with Martin Luther King Day. In March, connect them with Women's History. And now I'm connecting my lessons with Hispanic Heritage Month. And then in December and so forth and so on. So this is just a sample of something that you can possibly do that'll help you be organized. And I did one for middle school, but of course I didn't put anything in there because, you know, I'm not in middle school. I have 6th grade, that's about it. But basically I just color coded and you can make it your own. So if that's something that you want, again, hit me up on the email and I will gladly share it with you and you can take it for your own. And then I also did an example for high school. Here's 9th grade. So these are at the actual lessons in our curriculum, and I just color coded and put dates on it and also including the holidays that we have off. So you know where you need to go and this, that, and the other. All right. And then one more thing I wanted to share. So any questions about the pacing guides? If you like it's a good idea, you can, again, email me and I can give you whatever level you are, I can give you a copy of that particular pacing guide. And then one more tidbit. All right. Okay. Yep. Just sign me up, hit me up in the email and we can do a one-on-one or whatever you need to do. All right. And then finally, my last little thing I wanted to share, I found this out when I was doing a meeting for community schools. We all use Zoom, all of us do it. But what I found in one of the Zooms that they did was they were doing interpretation. And what I mean by interpretation is just like not just having a person come in and interpret what the other person is saying. What I experienced is simultaneous interpretation, which I thought was awesome. It saves a lot of time. So if you are in a school that has different languages, it's good for parent meetings, it's good for student meetings, and you still need an interpreter, but it saves a lot of time. and it works with PGCPS. PGCPS emails do not work for the interpreter. So I'll explain what I mean by that. So it's easy to set it up. You go into your Zoom features, you know, you go into Clever, go into Zoom, and you go into Meeting Advanced, and you scroll all the way down to Language Interpretation and just turn the button on. That's it. Once you turn the button on, there will be a globe that shows up on your screen. And I can't show it to you now because I'm on my side of it, but a globe will show up on your screen. Yes. Yep. Once I get, I have the information that the presenter that I learned this from. She gave me a whole a list of how to do this, and I can send that off to anyone who wants it. And so basically, how it really works is that inside of any of your meetings that you have, you go back up here to the top. In your meetings, and I have these here. So I made like a bogus one. In your meetings, down here, you see I have right here interpreters. So you would get, so you still have to get an interpreter. And what happens is when you have a meeting, you can have people that come on that speak Spanish and people that come that speak English. So what will happen is when each person comes in, you will then tell them there will be a channel that the Spanish people will go to, and a channel for the English people, and a channel for whoever you have. And what happens while I'm speaking in English, the interpreter is interpreting in Spanish to those who speak in Spanish on their channel at the same exact time. So I don't have to speak in English and wait for the interpreter to say what they have to say. And then, so it saves a lot of time. And this way everyone, and then they can go back and forth. They can go back and forth. So if the person speaks in Spanish, they can say what they have to say. And then we on the English channel can hear it in English. And it's happening at the same time. And I think it's a really good time saver. So again, if you want this information, like I said, my email is in the chat, and you can hit me up, and I have no problem with giving you any of those things that I presented to give to you if you need it.
Charlene, we have some extra time. I know you wanted to kind of walk them through with the Coda Z accounts and things.
Okay.
And some of them were having difficulty, but we do have some time if you wanted to go back to that and try and troubleshoot.
Okay, that's what we can do. All right. So I'm gonna put my name, my email address in the chat again.
But as Charlene's doing that, keep in mind, this is an awesome way to engage students as makerspace activities. Again, as she stated, for clubs like doing a robotic club. These are great ways to get students engaged with coding. So especially for the high schoolers that are trying to go into that field, it would be nice to encourage them for this like career readiness opportunity, and also help support them so they can try and be one of the students that can get a scholarship as well to do that program. That would be great as well.
All right, so what I'm gonna do, thank you, Coquette. All right, so what I'm looking up now, how do I activate my teacher's account? I'm looking up here in the information. Let me share my screen here. And I was gonna have people share their screen if I couldn't, and we're gonna do some troubleshooting. We'll work this out together, right? Teamwork, dream work, that's the saying, right? All right, let me open this up. So an activation link was sent to you in an email title. Okay, so let's see. First things first, activate your Coda Z teacher account. An activation link was sent to your email and title. If you're not receiving it, click activate. Okay, so let's see. Hello. All right, so what I want to do is someone who was able to, thank you. Someone was able to not get their account. I want you to share your screen so I can see, and maybe I can find out what's going on with it, because it should automatically allow you to make your own account. And I don't know why it didn't allow you to do that. So that's a mystery to me, but that's okay. All right. So was there a person I can want to maybe help, and we can see, and you can share your screen, and I could probably walk you through it as I can see it. And maybe if there's something I need to walk it through. Anyone want to share their screen who would like to look at the Coda Z and get their teacher account? because I know at this point I probably can't get in touch with anyone at any offices because it's probably past the time. Okay, if that's not it, what I can do, if anyone wants any of the pacing guides, I can go through that. If anyone wants one of those, I can actually hit send the link inside of my inside the chat. Would anyone like one of those?
Yes.
Interested? Okay, so I'm going to go back over
Yes,
here.
please.
All right, so I'm going to go since we have time, and we'll deal with the teacher's account later. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put in the chat. I'm going to put the actual document that I have here, and it has all the pacing guides on it. So you just click on the one that pertains to your grade. Okay. So I don't have to like do it individually. And I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to give it to you in just viewer mode. So you have to just make a copy of it if you want to edit it. All right. So this way, no one makes a mistake like just changing something just in case. So you're going to get it in viewer mode. So all you need to do is just file and make a copy, and then you can have that. All right. All right. Let me put that in the chat. All right. There you go. So please someone click on that for me and make sure that that's what you get, and you just make a copy if you need to edit it. If not, you can just click on the one that you need. And I can go back through that.
It worked. Thank you.
It works? Okay, good. I'm glad. And where's the other one? Okay. And anyone who wants me to walk through them with the Zoom information, I'm going to get that as well. Since we have the time, I didn't know if I was going to have time to go get it. So I'm going to go to the email from the information, and I'm going to get that. All right, Mary. Okay. Mary, did you get them in the chat? I sent it in the chat. All right, cool. All right, so you got it. Okay, so I saw you sent me emails. So if you hopefully you saw it in the chat. So right now, what I'm looking for is getting the interpreter information that shows you step by step how to set that up. And if you again, if you want to walk through it with me, you can also do that as well. Let me just get to it. I'm looking for it right now. Zoom out. Get here. Arrows, computer club. English. Interpretation. So I'm looking up the interpretation.
So Charlene, while you're doing that,
yes,
you can continue to respond to the chat. At this time, we're going to transition to a quick 10-minute break, and we'll be back. So Charlene will continue to support in the chat. And for those that need to take a quick break, let's return back at 4:52 in 10 minutes, and we'll get started with the next part of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. I'm looking it up now. Just give me a moment.
So I'm gonna go to Flipgrid. I go to Flipgrid through through Clever. And I'm gonna go to Flipgrid. And then you notice it has review and evaluation. I'm gonna go to click on review and evaluation. Excuse me. And it gives me elementary, middle school, and high school. This is where you'll go. If you're in elementary, you're gonna click on elementary, and you're gonna add your topic of, you're gonna add your book. Let me go here. I'm gonna give you in the chat. One second, please. I'm sorry. I'm trying to open it back up so I can get back to my chat. In the chat, I'm going to put the codes. So you're going to join And so I don't want you to go, I apologize that I showed you to go through Clever like that. But for this, you're just going to go to Flipgrid, flipgrid.com. And I would like for you to do that now, if you don't mind. Go to flipgrid.com and you're going to where it says join code. The join codes are in the chat. ES, elementary, MS, middle school, HS, high school. You're just going to put in that code that starts with a number. Each one of them starts with a number and ends with a number. So you're going to put that in for whichever level you are. So I'm going to go to the elementary one and I'm going to show you what we see, what you'll see, and what I would like for you to do.
Hi, everyone. I want to share my book review of Hair Love by Matthew A. Cherry. Hair Love is a heartwarming picture book about the love Zori has for her father, mother, and herself. Through a series of events, Zori and her father experience some challenges in the absence of Zori's mother. The most frustrating challenge is Zori's desire to style her hair the way her mother used to. With some patience, Zori's father overcomes his inability to style Zori's hair. I recommend this book because it exudes love. Check out Hair Love.
Mm-hmm. So that was the elementary one. And so make sure when you do your Flipgrid, when you show your book, when you present your book, you're going to make sure you give the title, the author, the grade level that it's recommended for, and you can do a brief synopsis. So that was elementary school. Thank you, Coquette. Here's middle school. So there are different ways that you can do them. If you notice, Coquette had herself at the bottom and she had the cover of the book along with the author's picture. And this is the one for middle school.
The book that I was recommended for grade 12. The HGTV, although was written in 2017, is still very relevant today. I enjoyed being able to read the book and compare it to the movie.
So that was middle school. You see how simple it was, but you still, I could have given more of a synopsis of the book and I did not, but you still have the author, the title, and just I didn't, like I said, give enough about the book, but I did say that the book can be compared to the movie. So you can use it in that manner. If it's a book that you have that you really like for, that goes with a movie, which a lot of our books I have seen. High school. Here's our high school.
Hello, so today I'm going to talk to you about the book All American Boy by J.C. Reynolds, Brendan Gilly. It is a high school book. The book is about two boys, one black Rashad and one white Quinn. And Rashad gets beaten up really badly by a cop because the cop thought he was stealing a bag of chips. Quinn is a witness. So the storyline is that we have Rashad telling his story a week later, and Quinn is back at school dealing with the aftermath and just trying to decide what's right. So it's a good book. I highly recommend it.
All right. So thank you, Catherine. So as you noticed, what I would like for you all to do is I would like for you to go in. If you got your review books, you should have reviewed them by now. If you've already gotten them, if you have them, I would like for you to go in the Flipgrid and make a video. The videos can be no longer than 1 minute and 20 some seconds, I believe it is, something like that. So it's very quick. But as you can keep in mind, Catherine and Coquette both gave a synopsis of their book. I didn't, so mine really isn't, correct. I just did include the grade level, like I said, the grade level, the title, and the author. So I would like for you to make sure that you give a brief synopsis of the book, include grade level, title, and author. It's no particular order that it has to be in. It's not like that. But it's just to get the reader, our media specialist, an idea of how you felt about the book. Like we used to go around almost round robin type of thing, but we're coming up in technology, future ready and so forth. And with digital age and all of that, we want to make sure that we are not left behind. So that is one thing that we're going to do. And so your assignment is to create your Flipgrid video. Once you can, if nobody else has created it by the time you've done yours, you can go in and comment on, make a response to one of the ones that are already up there by myself, Catherine, or Coquette. Do we have any questions?
Hi, Verlita, it's Anya. I was not able to get in. I'm getting an error message that someone else also shared. And I created an account, but I still can't get into your
I think what we'll need to do, Anya, is we're gonna try to add you from our end, okay?
Did you go to flipgrid.com or did you go through Clever?
No, I went through flipgrid.com.
And I went through flipgrid.com to try and see if you could to make sure all of the codes were correct. And you said it gave you an error message?
Yeah. And it's someone else. I'm trying to find their message.
Oh, I'm reading it now. I see it. It's from Robin.
I got the same thing.
Verlita, this is Bridget, and I tried to go in it, and they told me your email is not allowed to join in. Try again or contact your group lead.
I was wondering, Verlita, maybe you can check your permissions.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to look and see.
I could give a word of encouragement. I got in.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I just put in 8C8. I put in the number, not ES dash. I just put in the number, just like you said, and
Yeah.
I'm in.
All right. So if one is in, I'm not sure. So yes, Beverly.
No, I was just going to say at the elementary school level, I was able to get in.
You were able to get in as well? Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
So if you all could go back and try one more time without any dashes or anything like that, just make sure we have the right.
Or can you share your screen maybe, Anya, so we can see what you're doing? Or Joe Craner also said he wasn't able.
Yeah, I can share my screen. Let me see.
Yeah, let's see if we can. Yeah, there's a bunch of people saying they're in.
All right.
Okay, so this is the message I got. So this is my account that I just created.
Yeah, so go to flipgrid.com, just remove like everything just so that you can put in that code.
Okay.
You might have to log out, but you have yeah.
So then.
And then put the code in there.
8, 4, 2, 7. It's 6-1, right? Or is it
5-1.
Oh, it's my old eyes. Maybe that was the problem. Nope.
That's what it said.
Isn't that weird?
Say go join with Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I did last time.
I did the same thing and now mine is not working and I joined with Google.
And this is what I got too.
So did you create an account?
No. Do I need to?
No, I know that's why. No, I didn't want you to. That's what I was trying to figure out if it was based on because an account was created or.
Yeah, it didn't work at first, and then I was like, oh, maybe if I created an account, it would work, and neither one works.
Mine is saying you're not allowed to join. Your email is not allowed to join. That's what mine is saying.
And you all are on your PGCP. Excuse me.
Yes, I am.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm experiencing the same thing.
Is there a setting? Is there a setting for either that you have to open up to us?
I couldn't. I don't understand. So I would have, if everybody said that they couldn't get in, I would have said it's something in my settings. But by some of you being able to get in, somewhere down the line, something is not clicking. I don't know why or what it is.
Yeah.
So let me. Can you also see your screen?
right there, Valida, I don't know who's sharing their screen, but
It's me.
if they put in, right, so if they put in flipgrid.com like you did, and it comes up to this screen where you are, it says have the group join the code. So when you get to this point, that's where you would put the code in, and you should have access at that point.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I did, and I didn't get in either. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again.
No, it's saying that your email doesn't have access. I did exactly what you just said, but it's saying your email after type it.
Technology.
Right. Maybe because it's raining outside. Let's see.
Yeah, that's what it is. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
That's it.
I'm sorry, this is Sharon. You know, Flipgrid changed their way they do things from last year because they wanted to make it so anybody couldn't get in. So they changed it. So even if you have to either assign the students through Google Classroom or put their email in. Because they changed it for privacy's sake.
So, but here's my confusion. Like I said, I haven't gone in and changed anything, and some people are able to get in and some aren't.
Yeah, that's what's weird.
So that's right. That's the weird part.
Right.
That right there, like I said, if everybody has said that they couldn't get in, then it would 9 times out of 10 be something on my end that I need to go in and change and give you access to or share, like Google Docs and stuff like that. But by some people getting in, and the only people that are leads are myself, Catherine, and Coquette. So for anybody else who got in, Lourdes, you had a question?
Sorry, the thing I want to say is you need to send us an invitation. It's the same that the last person said. You need to send us an invitation. For elementary teacher, you need to send an invitation, and for middle, another invitation. We cannot join if we are in PGCPS account. If you don't send an invitation us. You understand me?
Yeah, I do hear what you're saying, but again, those who are in now, I didn't send invitations to. So I haven't done anything. They're just hearing it for the first time. Just everybody's hearing it for the first time. So that's where the confusion, and I'm trying to figure out where and why that is that way.
You want to try?
Anita, one thing that happened to me also is that some of the teachers, if they didn't have a Flipgrid account, they couldn't get in. I tried to get people in, and if they didn't have a Flipgrid account, they didn't have access.
But somebody just made an account today, didn't you? I think somebody said on here that they just made an account.
Yeah, it's Anya. It didn't work, so I made an account and then it still didn't work.
It still didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah, Verlita, also try to log in through Clever to think that to maybe see if that could be a workaround, and I'm still having problems logging in. It seems like it will allow me to log in, but it kind of does it partially. And then it's like some questions I have to answer, like my birthday, region I'm in and stuff like that. But then it goes back into like a weird password thing. So I'm not sure if it's something going on with Clever or with Flipgrid.
I think it's Clever, or it's Flipgrid itself, because some people are in and some people not. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So.
All right. So Kat, what were you saying?
It looks like we're going to be able to add them manually, Verlita. So I would say let's just do that, and then we can do it that way.
Yeah, at least try one and see if it works.
I think Verlita has to do it because she's the host of the group. So, because I don't have the option of adding people.
Stuff out the way so I can see my screen.
But you have to love the security for the kids.
I guess.
Yeah.
Not at this point. All right. So, because I am very new to Flipgrid, and I thought it was super easy when I got to it, and I was able to do it and create a little video, but now it's looking like it's super complicated for this one reason right here. How do I go to, why isn't it taking me back anywhere?
Oh, perfect.
Actually, can someone else try? I added at pgcps.org to our group. So anybody that tries to log in with that should be able to get added. So can somebody try again?
So what did you do, Kat?
I'm gonna go try it, Kat.
Okay, let's see if that way. I added at pgcps.org.
Perfect. I got in.
You
I
got
got in too. Now I can
Yes.
add.
Now we're in.
All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So
Thank you.
wait, where did you add pgcps.org to, Kat?
But it's added to all the groups, so it should work.
But I'm saying I don't see it. So like I'm saying where
Can I show you tomorrow?
Okay. Sure. All right. So
I got
if you're
in.
and you
I got in.
all
Way
right,
to go.
great. So if you get in, you can just put in the chat that you got in or do a thumbs up and say that you got in. And if you haven't gotten in yet, definitely say, don't put it in the chat because I'm not going to the chats to see it. Just open your mic and say that, you still aren't in yet or you're still having difficulties. Okay, great.
Hi, everyone. I'm Beverly Murphy. I'm the school librarian here at Porttown Elementary School. I'm here to review this wonderful book, just a very beautiful book, Town Is by the Sea, written by Joanne Schwartz and illustrated by Sydney Smith. It's truly a beautiful book. It did receive star reviews from Kirks's Library Journal, Horn Review, Star, and Book List. It's very simple to read. It is appropriate, I would say, in terms of interest, certainly 3 through 6. Readability, 1 through 6 as well, because
Oops.
So if you're doing your books now, I just muted Beverly, but if you're doing your books now, you're fine. If you're doing your books now, just mute yourself so that you can create your video.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
It's good, Beverly.
No, you're fine. That was good.
Well
It was
done.
good.
Good example.
Yeah.
There is, when you're turning on the camera on Flipgrid, you guys, there is a setting where you can mirror the image so that the title of the book appears on the right, in the right direction. So it's readable.
Hey there, so I didn't receive my books. I don't know. I think the pony might be super slow.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. There's a couple of people who have not, well, more than a couple who have not received their books that went out September the 3rd.
I know you did, and I did it like, by the due date. So
yeah.
I don't know. Should I try with a different book just to try it, or?
I mean, you can. Yeah, you most definitely can. You most definitely can.
Okay. Thanks.
Beverly, did you finalize? Did you add your response?
I'm editing it.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, are we supposed to be doing the videos now? What did
Yes.
you say?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm at home. I don't have the books here.
Okay. Some people have their books, some people don't. It's fine if you don't have it with you right now. You can go in. I just wanted you to be able to manipulate it for, well, troubleshoot like we did. I'm glad you all were able to find out you weren't able to get in. But if you, I just wanted you all to, if you don't have your books with you and you're not going to do it right this second, then go in and add a response to at least one of the books that are already featured up here. And it's in anyone, for if you read one or you're familiar with it or you want to read it, whatever the case may be, that, just to see how it is to go in and be able to manipulate and move things around.
have a question for people.
Yes.
So I just tried to record myself talking about a book. But then the audio from Zoom was like going into.
You heard me talking in the background?
Yeah, so I don't
Yeah.
know. Is there a workaround?
Me being quiet.
Yeah, do it when you're not on Zoom.
Yeah, you can do it. You can do it once we've gotten off. So the goal was, like I said, was for you all to be able to see. So if it was kinks or things that needed to be worked out, because like I said, with myself and Catherine Coquette all being leads, then it's hard to say, oh, did this work? Did that work? Because we all have access to it. So by you all, I really wanted you all to see, and so we can try and get some of the kinks out to see what was what.
Okay.
So yes, you most definitely can record it later. But you all can absolutely go in now and make comments. You should be able to. So that you can see your video. All right. So what time is it? How much time do I?
Yeah, Todd is here already, Verlita, so you can jump in when you're done.
Yeah. So for those, let me see something. For those who are going, what was I apologize. What was Todd's diversity? What was his
Yes, the diversity of the collection.
All right. So Todd is going to speak with you all about the diversity collection from Mackin. But if you're doing write a book, you can stay. If you're doing write a book, again, it is going to be recorded. So if you're doing write a book, you can stay for this session and hear it. If you have questions and stuff, that way you get your questions answered right away. Or you can go to Todd's group with Mackin. You got to set up the breakout.
It's reverse, Verlita. You're going to a breakout room and we're staying in the main room.
Okay. So if you're going with me, if you're coming to write a book, you're going to go to the breakout room.
And do you have breakout room on as an option on your screen or no?
I do not.
Okay. So you guys should be able to go to breakout rooms at the bottom of your screen and join if you want to go with Verlita. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Oops.
Does Verlita see it?
Huh?
You see it, right?
What? Oh yeah, I see the breakout. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why does
I'm pressing the button, but it's not taking me anywhere.
You're 1 second.
I know. It's just the way.
So difficult.
I'm so difficult.
You are listed though, assigned to. I think I can assign to.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Now I got. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Wait, did I kick you out?
Remember, everybody, the breakout room is for the people who are sponsoring Write a Book.
But also I just noticed, I'm going to stay here, but I did notice everybody who wants to go in that on the bottom right corner of the screen for options, there's 3 dots and it says more. And if you press breakout room, I believe that will take you there.
And I can also send you there if you're having issue.
I pressed it. It did not send me there, but I need to.
I will ship you there, Diana. 1 second. I just need to find you here. Assign to room 1. Login. So I've sent everyone that I put in the chat that they wanted to go into the breakout room.
You ready for me?
We are.
All right. Well, first off, it's good to see everybody, even just names on the screen. It's been a while. We'll take what we can get these days as far as getting together for meetings. So I appreciate everyone spending their Wednesday evening and letting me participate. Hi, Sherry. I see you now.
Hey, I wanted to say hi. And thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something fun. I want to show you guys something that's very useful, but I think it's also going to be something that you're going to find kind of fun to use, and it's something that a lot of schools have been asking for. So I'm kind of going to jump into a couple of things. We are going to talk about what Mackin is calling a tag report. I want you to think of this as a diversity audit on steroids. Is kind of the way that I usually put my description. So let me share my screen real quick, and we'll just kind of jump right in. We did have some questions, or there might be some questions on how to get into your Mackin.com account. Everyone in Prince George's County should have a Mackin.com account. Your email address will be your full email address, including the @pgcps.org. Your password will be, there's a couple of options. If we set this up for you and you've never changed it, it's probably the word Mackin all lowercase. If you set it up or if you've changed your password, it's probably the same one that you use for a lot of your shopping sites. And we make it real easy. If you forget your password, there's a little forgot password link down here. So if you try what you normally use and don't get in, just hit forgot password and we will actually send you a password reset link. With credit card security driving lots of IT security things these days, I can't actually see your password, nor can anyone at Mackin. So if you call, we can't give you your password. Everything's encrypted. So just hit that password link, or if you call us, we'll just send you a link directly to your email and get you to reset your password that way. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. And as I'm talking, I'll stop every so often and ask for questions, but feel free to use the chat feature. I see lots of people chatting in already, so just pop questions in there and we'll circle back. So before we get to the tag report, I'm going to start with something that's been available for a while, but I think it's a good way to frame the conversation of what's new, and that's to talk about what's always been available. So for every school, if you log in and you go to my account, we've always done a collection analysis for your schools. In fact, we just updated this. Catherine sent all the marked record data, and I'm going to hit collection analysis results. And I'm just going to go into, there's a sample middle school here. I'm going to pull up some collection analysis results, and I promise this is like a super quick piece. What's important here? Well, what I want to point out is this comment, or this statement right here. With a collection analysis, we analyze mark record data. This is very powerful, but since we're using mark records, we are limited to the information that is in a mark record to run a collection analysis. So also, I want to point out while we're here, this analysis looked at 100% of the mark records. So every book in this collection has been identified. And if I go to summary, you can see that, again, this is really mark record driven. It's actually Dewey driven is the way I look at it. And I can give you numbers, I can give you statistics, I can give you all sorts of details on anything that's in the mark record and is Dewey based. So if you want to break your 500s down and you want to look for, the 520s, the astronomy section, and see exactly what's there, I can tell you. What can't I tell you? Well, the limitations that we've had in a collection analysis that have always been there are, again, we're looking at a mark record and we're looking at Dewey. So there are certain things that we're looking for now that just don't exist in a mark record. Diversity is the big one. There's no field in a mark record where we can really put diversity information. There's some other things that tend to be missing from mark records. If you're looking for how many books you have that are social emotional learning, books on makerspace, some of the literary themes. These are all things that are great information to have, but if we're just looking at a mark record, we're kind of limited. So why am I rambling on? I wanted to show you what's already there and what you've had access to for years. Now let's kind of go into that tag report. What's different? So first off, let's talk about tags. I'm going to click on title lists, and I'm just going to come down to tags real quick because I love this screen. I'll give it 1 second to load. There are 8 categories, and there's about 87, if I counted correctly, individual tags that we've added to books on our website. So you can look through the themes here. Some of the ones I mentioned, diversity obviously was not in mark records before. SEL I mentioned, literary themes. Let's expand this. Under diversity, there are actually 18 separate tags. So we are tracking in diversity all the different subcategories, if you will, that you see here. So real quick, how did this start? Probably about 2.5 years ago at this point, we started getting a lot of requests for specifically for diversity analyses. How can I tell how diverse my collection is in different categories? And at that point, we really didn't have a great answer for you. I think most people that did diversity analyses a couple of years ago were really creating a spreadsheet and going through their shelves and kind of making tally marks, if you will. And it's a very time-consuming process to go through an entire collection. So we thought about what we could do to automate this process and make it a little bit quicker. And the first thing we had to do is really come up with what we were going to track. So the reason I like this screen is it does show you all 87 different tags that we kind of decided were important to track. Is it a complete list? We thought it was. As time goes by, I'm sure people will want additional tags added, and of course we can tweak that as we go, but for now, this is what we're looking at. So this is a project that's been about 2.5 years in the making. It involved going back through a database of roughly 3 million titles is what we currently have in print right now, and beginning to add tags individually to each title. So it is a very time-consuming process. And I will say right up front, not every book that's on our database has a tag. There's 2 reasons for that. One, not every book's going to fall into one of these tagged categories. If I have a nonfiction book on jellyfish, I don't really have a tag where that book is going to specifically stand out. The collection analysis is going to count that book wonderfully in the nonfiction section. So not every book is going to have a tag. We also, at this point, we're up to about 300 or 350,000 titles that we've added tags to. So we just haven't gotten to every title. We're primarily working on the new things that come out, things that are added to the database on a daily basis. And then we're retroactively going back when we have time and adding tags to our most popular bestsellers. But if you can imagine a 3 million title database, it takes a lot of manpower to add tags to that many titles. So what does this all look like? All of you can log into your account and go to my account. And instead of going down to collection analysis, there's actually a spot right here that says title match and tag report. So if you just click on that, we have done a tag report for each of your schools in Prince George's County. I'll share my email address again. I've already put it in the chat, but if anyone is either having trouble logging in or doesn't have access to the correct school, send me an email and we can fix that pretty easily. So I've got some sample analyses here. I also have, there's a new high school that we opened last year, Crofton High School. I'm actually going to look at that tag report. And to look at your tag report, just come over on the right and click view next to your school. Deep breath because there's a lot of information to go through. So basically we're at Crofton High School. The date that we ran this, actually August 28th, was the export date for this analysis. There are 12,079 items at this school. Tagged items, 5,829. So unlike the collection analysis, which had a 100%, what's the word I'm looking for, rate of every book had a mark record, not every book in this collection has a tag, and that's to be expected. So actually 48% of these books having a tag is a very high rate. This is a new school, lots of new titles, lots of diverse titles. If I had to give you a range, I would say a lot of schools, when they first look at their tag report, had between 20 and 30% diversity. Again, that doesn't mean we didn't look at 70 to 80% of your collection. That just means those 70 to 80% don't have a tag attached to them. The average age of the tagged books at Crofton High School, again, this is a new school, so 2017, that's pretty good. Okay. Categories, again, those 8 categories we just looked at are listed over here to your left. If I start with diversity, average age of my diversity collection is 2017. There are 2,727 items, and it represents 22.58% of my tagged items. Okay, so let that one sink in for a second. It's not 22.5% of your entire collection. It's 22.5% of your tagged items. And if I add these numbers up, You actually, this is another one you kind of have to wrap your head around. There are 5,829 individual books that have a tag. The sum of the collection here comes to 8,716. Why is that bigger? Because a lot of books have more than one tag. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a second. So at this point, does anyone have any questions for me before I kind of get into a few more details? Looking at the chat, I don't see any. So if you have any, pop them in. On this screen, if you would like to print some top level information, you can go up to the options menu, go to print. Does this box that just popped up show on your screen? Can you guys see my print tag report box?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, sometimes I get blocked since it's a new window. You can pick from this level what you would like to look at. The tag report can be very long when you try to print it out. So I'm just going to click on diversity, and I'm going to hit the print button. Doesn't actually go yet. It's going to give me my print options, but I want to kind of give you a heads up on what you're going to see. So this is 39 pages just to look at the diversity at the top level. So if you'd like all the pie charts, you want everything to look pretty, by all means, you can print this out. But keep in mind the number of sheets of paper, and this is just the diversity section. This isn't world languages, this isn't general, this isn't writing styles, it's just the diversity section. So I'm going to hit cancel and not print that out at the moment. So let's drill down. Much like the collection analysis, we're looking at the top level information. Let's drill down into diversity and get a little more specific. So within the category of diversity, again, there are 18 subcategories or tags. These are all listed over on the left. If you do not have any books in one of these categories, we do not show you the name of that category just because it would be empty. Looking through here, again, this is a lot to absorb, and I really want all of you to play with your own tag reports after this session and kind of come up with some questions for me. But let's take a look at general diversity. And we've got some, 2018 is our average age. We've got 33 books that are nonfiction. We got 51 books that are fiction. These are clickable, so I can actually pull those books up. We got 67 in this category that's called other, which is horribly confusing, but I'm going to explain it. And we've got a total of 151 books in general diversity. So what are these 67 books in other? If I click on general diversity, the title heading, basically we've got ebooks, we've got fiction, nonfiction, which were represented, we've got story collection, biography, and non-print. If I go back a page, we just didn't have room on this page to print all those different categories. So we did nonfiction, fiction, then we combined everything else into other. So don't let that hang you up too much. But I do get a lot of questions about that. I also get the question of what the heck is general diversity compared to all these other categories. So I'm going to click on the 151 books that are in here. And I'm actually going to scroll down because I'm going to use one of my recent reads and a favorite of mine, Dragon Hoops. Anybody read Dragon Hoops? I can't see many of you. I'm guessing some of my high school people might have read Dragon Hoops.
No, I haven't.
No, it's a great book. It's actually a graphic novel. It is a story about a basketball team in California, high school, that goes on to win the state championship at a small Catholic school. The reason this is under general diversity, each chapter of the book is written about one player on the team. And this is an incredibly diverse team. They have African American players, they have Chinese American players, they have Middle Eastern players, they have Hispanic players. So there really wasn't a place to put this book under the in diversity into any one single, I hate to say pigeonhole. So what we do is we put the books that cover lots of different types of diversity under general diversity. Again, if you like graphic novels, it's a great read. Plus, it's a quick read. I'm going to go back all the way to the screen. If you look through the percentages of your collection and you find books or categories that you would like to beef up, Caribbean, we've only got 8 titles total. There is a little search box or search button right here. If you click that, you can actually launch, much like you can in a collection analysis next to any category, you can search for more titles in any particular tag. Okay. I'm going to go back. I did mention before that a lot of books fall into two different categories, and let me give you an example of that. I'm going to go into my LGBTQ category. Another one of my recent reads, 57 Bus. I know a lot of you read 57 Bus. So this book definitely deals with some LGBTQ characters. But if I go back to diversity, the main character is also transgender. So you'll see the 57 Bus falls under both of those. So lots of books will fall into a couple of different tags. We didn't just select one single tag. We will tag a book with as many tags as we think it legitimately has. Non-binary, yep. I haven't checked that one. Is see if we're in non-binary as well. Oh yeah, transgender, non-binary. We combine those two. At this point, let me go back into another set of books. We got 915 there in the African, Black, or African American tag. These are my books. 57 Bus also appears here because one of the two main characters, there are two, is African American. If you would like to print out or get a listing of the exact titles, complete with barcode, date of publication, and all in each tag or in an individual tag, you can also go up to options, and we let you export this page to Excel. So again, way back in the beginning, we had the overview with pretty graphs. That's just going to print out as is. Those are PDFs. When you get down to the actual titles, we do let you export those in Excel so you can manipulate this data, sort it by date of publication, however you'd like to, and actually use it as kind of a working document. All right, what am I forgetting? Looking at my notes. I think that might be the important parts of the tag analysis. And I'm still looking and I'm not seeing a ton of, oh, okay, I do see a few. Are there any guidelines from ALA on what a collection should look like? Not really. If I can kind of throw this back as one of the things you hear a lot about is windows and mirrors. I think that each individual collection at each individual school is going to be a factor of some district policies, to be quite honest, makeup of the school's population, and then again, that whole windows and mirrors concept. If you're at a school that's heavily Hispanic, and you don't have a lot of other students from other parts of the world represented, then under diversity, your Latin American, your Hispanic section is going to be huge, your other sections not so much. But again, if your students all are Pacific Islanders or Asian, your school's probably going to have a larger representation there. Again, windows and mirrors. Anything else? And actually, that as far as what a collection should look like, that's a great topic for a group such as this. So when you guys are meeting and having conversations, I think that your district policy might supersede any outside ALA or AASL policy. So I would love to hear that conversation. So on the report itself, again, we're looking back in time. We're looking at things that we've already purchased. This is what's in our collection. Anyone have questions?
Could you show us one of our PG school instead of this newly opened school? Like, can you go to one of ours or?
Laurel Elementary, I would love it.
All right, hold on one second.
I just feel like this is not giving us the right picture, Todd.
Okay.
2017 copyright date for the whole library.
Catherine, do you mind if I pretend I'm you for a minute?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, so I'm logging in somewhere else and I'm going to see what I want to make sure this works before I share my screen. Okay. Go back to share screen. All right, who was willing to be the guinea pig? What school name did I hear?
It's Anya, Anya Meyer at Laurel Elementary, please. That would be amazing.
All right. You guys have a lot of schools, just so you know. So Laurel Elementary, if I scroll down, and we just redid all the collection analyses. I think I just threw that out at the beginning, and all the tag reports were updated on the 13th of this month. So this is all very new, very fresh data.
We have some old books, and I tried to get a bunch of diverse titles last year.
Okay. So, and this is really, this is always when I get nervous. I have no idea what's going to happen. So the report came up, which is good news. Collection total, you've got 8,500 titles in your collection at Laurel Elementary School. 1,691 actually have a tag. So that's about 20%. So again, my guess earlier was in most schools, you'd have somewhere between the 20, 30% range of titles that have a tag. So that's right there. Average age is 2006. So we're looking at about 15 years if I'm doing the math in my head correctly. And the largest number of titles with a tag that you have, Anya, would be under writing styles and formats. You have 764.
Oh.
Diversity, you have 672. Do you want me to pop open diversity? You want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
I also need to weed that. Some of those books need to go.
Okay. So you can, if I click on average age, it does sort things. All these column headings are sortable. So you don't have anything in these first few. So I guess I have to take back what I said earlier. We are showing you categories even if they are empty. So that has changed since we first launched this. The oldest category that you have titles in would be gender issues, 1994. And the most current is Caribbean at 2014.
If you click on gender issues, do you see the titles of the books that she has, or?
Well, if you click on, so this is a little confusing. What you want to do to see the titles is click on the number over here.
Oh.
If I click on gender issues, it gives me the breakdown. I mean, you can get there, but one's biography, one's easy. And so if I click on that, I'll see the biography. If I go back, I'll see the easy book. But the way I like to do this, just so you can see them all at once, I mean, there's only two here, but if you click on the two, it'll show them both to you.
And it has the year right there too, which is great.
Yeah. So Williams Dahl, man.
I think you could weed that one, Anya.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna ask for your help maybe to come by and help me weed.
I'm really torn because you start seeing these old dates and I think of the year I was born and I'm like, well, I don't need to be weeded, but I guess some of these books do that fall into that age group. So yeah, if you go back to diversity, you know, your African, Black, African American category is by far the largest. And if I click that heading, it's going to come up to the top. And if you want to see all the books in that category, just hit 377 and they'll all be listed. They're alphabetical by title to start. If that's too much, if you don't want to see all 377 and you want to break it down by category, you know, we can do that too. Show me the biographies that I have. There's 115 biographies. So rather than going through all 300 plus, you just look at a subset. Again, any page that has barcode numbers and this kind of, it already looks like an Excel format. If you come up under options, you will be able to export it to Excel. And the wonderful part is if you are reading some of these, you know right where they are on the shelf, and then you can pull the barcode and get them out of your system all from this printout.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else want me to pull up their school real quick? You guys all have this, you can do this on your own if you're interested. So I will show you one other thing. So again, I started off on saying this was a retrospective look. This is everything right now that Laurel Elementary School has. So what if I go back to diversity, there were some categories. What if I'm looking for something in the LGBTQ category? I can launch a search right from here. And I'm going to come up with 2,500 is the max that the program shows. This is a K-12 search at this point. So I will throw out there that magnifying glass is somewhat useful, but I don't find it super useful unless I come over here and I say, I'm at an elementary school, so let me control my, let's say we're just looking for K5, hit go, and we'll get rid of quite a few of those titles. So now we're actually looking in the right age range. If I click on any title that's here, and again, I'm kind of winging this. I have no idea what I'm pulling up at this point. So if anyone hates these titles, I'm just pulling up what's first on the list. If you come down to the bottom of any book that has tags, they will be listed on the title detail page, and you can see this obviously fell under LGBTQ because actually that's how we found it. But all the other title details are here.
Do those tags, do they come into the MARC records as well?
Tags do not at this point because kind of like that limitation with the MARC record, there really isn't an appropriate field to put them in.
Huh. I don't agree with that, but okay.
Where would you put them?
Well, just put, it's almost genre, so you could probably put it in there. But there's a lot of there's a lot of tags you could in the 900s you could use really. Linda Langer offered her school if we want to look at a high school in Scotchtown Hill Elementary as well.
Okay, let's look at the high school. High Point, correct?
High Point, yeah, I'm sorry, yes.
I thought you said it, but if I just pulled that, I'm pretty proud of myself. I still remember I visited Linda quite a few times. Yeah, so let's see. High Point High School, we've got about 13,000 items, and 3,700 of them, almost 3,800 are tagged, so 28%. So again, kind of in that I hate to say normal, but that's just kind of the average range I see. 2012 is the average copyright, so 9 years. I don't know. 9 years feels pretty good to me. I don't know how you guys all feel about that, but
I'm amazed. This is really awesome. Good job, Linda. Our county average year, Todd, is 2001.
Oh wow, yeah. So
yeah,
you're
that's very good.
And my guess, looking at me, 13,000 is still a lot of books, but you've been on top of the weeding, Linda. Would be my guess. Yeah. Well, there's two ways to bring up your age. You either weed books or you buy new ones with more recent copyright. And if you combine those two and do a little bit of both, then you really see an impact. So if we look at diversity itself, your biggest category, also African, Black, African American. All right, something looks weird to me. I might be popping around to too many different schools. All right. Well, we'll come back then. Linda, I think this overview page is correct. I think that I need to log out and log back in because we're getting your report and the pages that have been cached for Laurel Elementary School are both popping up. So that's a new one. So again, retrospectively, you can see what's there. You can go into your searches and you can use these tags. Again, if you go back into title list and you come into tags, you can start here as well. And you can say, you're looking under SEL titles. You know, what do you have that's narrative nonfiction? We add that tag up here to the top. SEL is still in there, so let me get rid of that one. Just hit search. And again, you'll have a list of 2,500 items. If we're at the high school, I probably just bump this up to, you know, I know we started 9th grade, but maybe include some 8th grade interest and reading levels. And we still have a ton of titles. So we can use it to analyze what we've already got. We can use it to select new things that fit different categories. And if we find any books that we like, we scroll down to the bottom, and again, the tags are in here. If a book has multiple tags, we'll show them all to you in the record page, and you can just click on the tags. And for instance, this one's under World Literature of North America, as well as under Narrative Nonfiction, which is how I found it. If you want to see other books that have the North American World Literature, click on it, and we link you there. So everything kind of links all over the place. Let's see. Does Mackin recommend books to replace age titles? I thought that was part of the report. We can. So there isn't we have some automatic features, which I kind of shown you, which would bump you into new searches, and you can control the copyright date. But as with most things Mackin, a lot of it's customer service driven. So if you run this report and you see a category and you'd like new titles, just shoot me an email. I'll have my collection team put together a custom list for you. You can also do that right through the website. If you go to title lists and you go down to custom list request, click on library. There's just a little 5-page form. It's basically a Google form embedded here. You kind of pop through, and I'm on Catherine's account, so it's going to preload all of her information. And then just tell us what you want the list to look like. You're looking for a specific dollar amount, what grade levels, and then put in here, I really need more titles with a Caribbean tag, or I really need more general diversity titles, and I want them copyrighted 2019 or newer. So we will generate a list for you and pop it right into your Mac.com account. And I think that is basically all I need to cover. I mean, I don't want you guys to be disappointed if I don't keep you until 6:30. Somehow I have the feeling that that's going to be okay.
Yep.
Catherine or Sherry, did I miss anything that we talked about before?
And looks good to me. I'll let Sherry.
I think Sherry might have popped out.
She may have been in the breakout room actually.
Gotcha.
But yeah, she's no longer here actually. So all is good. I guess if no one has questions. Todd, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. My contact information, again, I popped it in there. If anyone has any questions that you just want to throw out to the entire group, just shoot me an email. I'm happy to email you back, or we can set up a virtual meeting, or one of these days I might actually be able to come by your schools again.
I know, right?
Well, I appreciate the time, everyone. Have fun with that. I hope it's something that's useful and kind of helps you analyze what you've got and kind of make some decisions moving forward.
Thanks, Todd.
Thanks,
All right.
Todd. That was
Bye, guys.
awesome. Bye.
All right, everyone. I'm just texting. Sherry is in the breakout room, so I'm gonna get her back with us. Let's see if she can let you go early.
I have a question for you, Kat.
Sure.
I know you're super busy, but do you still come to schools to help with weeding? Is that something that you still can do, or?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, okay. That would be really great. I was gonna do it, but then pandemic hit.
Right.
But I'm a little worried because Trish was there for so long that I don't know.
I've been at Laurel Elementary School already once, and I think I weeded the fiction, but it was very difficult.
Yeah, she doesn't want to let it go. She probably ordered a lot of those.
Well, actually, it was no longer Trish anymore. It was
D?
D was there, but Trish was still there. You know what I mean? So
but she'll understand. A lot of them aren't in great quality either, so she'll.
Right.
Yeah.
So Sherry should be back with us.
I am back with you. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Hey.
So I wanted to let you know that the other session in the breakout room is still going on. So they're going to be there for a while finishing up. But I wanted to thank everybody for coming today. And I'm going to be sending out.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I think I should be in the session. The other session is the write a book session.
Yes.
That's the session I should have been in.
Is this Janet?
Yes.
Okay.
Catherine can assign you there.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure. So I'm going to be sending another connections out tomorrow. And on the first slide of connections, there's going to be a link to a form. And it's basically just one paragraph. What's going on? What's happening at your school? And just share. And I will go through all the responses and respond if I can answer questions or let you know what's happening. One of the things that we're all trying really hard right now to do is to support everybody at the schools, not just our content people, but the principals and the students' needs and everything else. There's been so much work to be done, and a lot of schools are understaffed. And a lot of people are still trying to figure things out and how to make them work. And I know you've gotten caught up in that too. So any way that we can help you, please feel free to go ahead and, just sign in when you get that and let us know what's happening. The other thing we're going to be doing, and I don't know if Catherine mentioned this, we're looking for things that you've done that you would like us to advertise. We can put them in connections, we can put them in our Google Classroom. And if you want to include pictures or demonstrations or videos, whatever you want to share, do remember that if you're sharing students, there's rules of pictures and videos of students, but we'd really like you to share your successes. And it may be that you know how to do something that a lot of other people don't know how to do. And we would love to invite you, if you're interested, to be part of our next quarter's review and evaluation. It doesn't have to be a long presentation, it can be a short one. But if you remember last year, we did this a couple of times, and sharing our expertise and our good ideas is a way to have, it's kind of refreshing, and it's really a lot of fun when it comes from our colleagues. So I just wanted to remind you the opportunities there. And you can add some of that into that form, if you like, in the new connections that's coming out. In the meantime, it looks like it's almost 6 o'clock, and I would like to thank you very much. If you want to have Catherine put you in the Write-A-Book session, you can go ahead and do that. It's basically for sponsors, but you can always learn something. And otherwise, I wish you a great rest of your week, and thank you for coming tonight. And Kat, could you put me back in the other room? Thank you.
I can.
Thanks for the information.
Do we have a evaluation form or something like that we have to fill out at the end, or is it?
No, you're good. We're gonna do attendance with Zoom, so we're good. Sherry, I'm not able, you have to log out and log back in.
No.
It's having that issue, that you had.
I'm joining.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you, Anya.
Thank you.